Years.
I'm here halfway through already with
40
Robert.
years on the street.
40 years.
With breaks, because I've done other jobs. I've been a teacher, and when I was in Thailand, I had to be a teacher because of the lockdown. There was no other option to make money.
But it all started in '84 after you were having like a nice career, making money.
I was running a bicycle shop.
You were running
I started my own business as running bicycles.
Wow.
And that's how I became interested in the trick cycling. Because we hired some jugglers and unicyclists for an event.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And I watched these two guys. That's what I want to do. Just boom, you know, it's one of these wow.
But it's so dangerous, like those huge bicycles. You have a picture, right? You're going to show us. So, and you...
This is actually taken by a professional. So that's in
you went all the way up there,
and I could do a free mount.
So it's all because you were a young sort of entrepreneur who had
and I could do it.
You had your bicycle shop, and then because of an event to promote it, you ended up seeing this.
Yeah.
And then you got interested because you're a young Aquarius, full of energy. Oh, you were in your 30s already, and then you decided to learn, and after you learned, you gave up everything and went to become an artist in the streets?
I wanted to prove that I could live off the grid.
Wow.
It was a political statement.
Cool.
That I don't need all this shit anymore.
Cool.
I want to be on my own, and every penny I earn is mine.
Right.
And I don't want, I've never voted. I'm an anarchist.
You're an anarchist.
I'm an absolute hardcore anarchist. And I'm not in an anarchist party or group or organization.
It's not like you're protesting for something. You're just like you have a lifestyle of an anarchist.
Yeah.
You're free.
And I thought to be a street show is showing people that there's another way to live. It's a demonstration that it's possible, right? So that's what I did.
And you started with a cycle, like in the streets, like on top, but juggling fire.
Yes.
How did you do that at the same time?
It's so funny. You have to give the fire torches to someone on the ground to hold while you get up on it.
Wow.
Right? And then they have to throw them to you. Right?
And you can fall while trying to catch it.
And basically, it's slapstick comedy. It's really funny.
Well, this is the thing about
you don't know how to do it.
Right.
Like, whoa, and what I used to do was I would start my show with juggling with balls and dumb things to build a crowd up.
Right.
And as soon as I got a big crowd around me, I'd pick up the unicycle and say, here I go, watch this, right? And I'd completely fuck up getting on it deliberately.
Oh yeah.
To make it look I couldn't do it.
As a comedy then.
As a comedy routine.
Slapstick, right.
And then when I finally got up on top of this thing, I would go completely out of control and just go straight through the audience, like and grab onto a lamppost.
Right.
Like, help! And make it look like I was really having trouble.
But see, this is interesting because it shows that already from the beginning, when you were doing your act in the streets, it was not just an act of making people feel marveled at your physical, slapstick. It was about the comedy. It was comedy, actually, that you were doing.
Slapstick comedy.
And
100%.
Because then that's where we're going to get, because nowadays Robert is actually a magician. But again, it's not really a magician. It's stand-up comic that uses magic as, the context.
Comedy.
But how the magic came up to you?
And watch comedians.
Yeah,
I
right.
love stand-up comedies.
Right.
So I've never actually been officially a stand-up comedian.
Right, but you did your own way of comedy because you were doing this already with the bicycle, and then you were a few years doing that, and then how it came true that you ended up learning magic and changing your act into magic.
Okay, I was getting older.
Yeah.
And the back was packing up, and it was fatiguing, and I did 10 years with this act.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Spain,
in Germany?
No, I was in Spain when I met the first magician that took me into his house, a Spanish magician.
Right.
I met him after my show. He watched my show, and in that show, I was actually performing a couple of magic tricks. I'd learned a couple of tricks, and I thought it would be nice to spice up my act with a couple of magic tricks to make it more sort of like diverse.
Good.
But I didn't consider myself a magician. I could just do a couple of magic tricks.
Right.
That was it.
With humor
But he said to me-
inserted in it already.
Yes. But he said to me, if I learnt magic, like card tricks and coins, he said, I don't need anything else. I don't need a big unicycle. I don't need a big suitcase full of shit.
Right.
He said, you can do a show for 2 people.
Wow.
He said that, and a lot of performers have a real trouble to do a show for 2 people. They need a big crowd.
Right.
They need that big applause and boost their energy. Yeah. A magician doesn't need that.
Mm-hmm.
A magician can do a show for 1 person.
And just to make
they're
that person
marvelous.
wow. Yeah.
In fact, the fewer people in the audience, the easier it gets.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And I like, when I do the table hopping, if I see a table with like 15 or 20 people on it, I think, too many people on that table.
You prefer
I
laughs.
prefer a small table of 4 or 5
Right.
people.
Because because
It's more intimate. I can say, hello, what's your name? And, you know, I can get to friends
right.
with them.
And you also said that because there's some real interaction, like the person is actually participating.
Absolutely.
Not just by being surprised at your trick, but because your tricks are really, you know, first trick you did already, to me, I saw humor in it because it was the QR code. It was not just to make me surprised that that piece of paper was coming out of your cell phone. It was that it was a joke on me. So I'm participating on it, not just watching it.
Yeah, I never look at it like that. Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
right. Yes.
I felt part of it. I was not just watching your skills.
When I learn a new trick, it's going through a process. The first process is learning the skill, the technical part of it.
Right.
So you can manipulate and do the trick. Learning the palming. The second thing you do is learn the misdirections. In which case you've got to do it in front of people. Right? But the most important thing is the story and having it make sense.
Oh.
So you understand?
There's a
Having
narrative.
a narrative.
Right.
So this is the best misdirection you've got, is to have it make sense to the people. And I have my own theory, which is called reason plus meaning equals sense.
Explain it to me. To
Well,
us.
if you must have a reason for doing anything. If you want to put your hand in your pocket because there's a coin in there, and you want to get that coin out of your pocket, you've got to have a reason to put your hand in your pocket.
It's not out of
Otherwise,
nowhere.
But not the reason I'm going to get a coin out, a different reason. Okay?
Right.
And reasons for your actions and your movements, for what you're doing. And meaning is what this object that you've got represents.
Right.
I mean, I could show you with the coin if you want a demonstration.
Oh yeah, of course. Let's take a look.
The meaning I like very much because it makes it more, as I say, it starts to make sense when you have, where's my coins? I'll do it with these ones. I've got some coins in here. Not this one. Not this one. I've got this one. So, this has got a lot of meaning to it. This is a 1964 silver half dollar.
Wow.
My grandfather gave this to me.
Really?
On
And
my
you
12th
carry it
birthday.
the whole time?
Oh yeah.
You are
And
carrying
he
it
told
with
me
you.
It's got